up you guys, the Curious Owl here, and today I have my June TBR. So this TBR is going to be quite a bit different. There are some changes that are going to be happening here on my channel and in terms of what I will be posting, as well as just in general what I'm going to be basically reading in a sense, because a lot of it's going to be not up to me. So essentially what is going to happen is we have 2 books that for sure need to be read in the course of the month, on top of books that I end up having to carry over from May, because I kind of struggled in the month of May, truthfully, when it came to my reading. I just had so many things going on that I had a hard time with being able to sit down and read more than a few pages at a time. But then the rest of my TBR is really completely randomized, because I've decided that I'm going to partake on a large project that is going to probably take me a long time to get through, but is going to be worth it by the end of it all. So the project is basically inspired by this TikToker that I follow that essentially is Lorna's Library. Basically what they do is for every book that they read on their TBR, they put away €1 or £1 or $1 basically. I believe it's €1 for her. But every book she reads, whether she DNFs it or she finishes the book, just having read the book, puts away £1 or €1 or $1 to basically go towards whatever it is that she wants. The total amount of books that I own, physically, ebook wise, or audiobook, is 5,632. And 92% of those books are unread. So very likely over 5,000 books are not read. I don't know the exact number exactly off the top of my head. Every book basically that I read is going to have me put $1 away in my savings that so often, maybe like every month, every 3 months, something like that, however I decide to do it, is going to be used to pay off some debt. Because many of you guys may know, I've talked about this a few different times, where I've been kind of struggling with paying off debt and stuff like that. Maybe it'll pay my bills and everything, but for the most part, I don't really have a lot of money left over. And so I thought this would be a really cool way to just a little bit at a time start banking away a little bit of money to where I can start paying off some debt maybe a little bit faster if I can. Now, I'm not 100% sure what's going to be my main focus, because I have a lot of different things that I could throw that money to that would help me in the long run. But at the very least, what I would like to be able to do, I think, first is start being able to pay off my credit cards. And I think that's probably my biggest thing besides my student loans that I have to pay off. So that's kind of going to be taking over the bulk of my TBRs from now on, is that we are moving away from the Wheel of D20 for quite some time. I don't know if I'm going to bring it back really for a while, because this, I think, is something I want to focus more of my efforts on and have a little bit more flexibility as well. Especially when it comes to going into August and September, I'm going to be going back to school to get my teaching certificate, special ed certificate, and my master's in order to become a special ed teacher. And because of that, I wanted to then also have a little bit more flexibility with what it is that I am able to read and what I'm able to focus on. So there's a lot of more room for me to not feel also so bogged down by all the reads that I'm reading at one time. And so this is basically going to start taking place after I have essentially completed my required reads for the month. And really there's only 3, because one of them is a read along that ends in August anyway. The other 2 are monthly book clubs, and I think that I am more than capable of handling those 3 reads for the next few months, and then going forward those 2 reads. So with that out of the way, basically we are going to just rely on fate for what it is I will be reading. And essentially, if I find that I get into a series of books that, like if I end up getting a book that's in the middle of a series I haven't started yet, obviously I'm going to go back to the first book and then read the entire series and put away, you know, however much money that is. I'll be documenting it. I will be showing videos on TikTok. I'll be showing videos here on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. I might do like a monthly vlog of sorts when I start being able to pull from those books after I've completed my required reads. I will vlog my course of that for the rest of the month, basically. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that kind of stuff, because I don't want it to be too crazy, but I do want to try and document this project, as this is a project I've been thinking of for a long time and have been really excited about. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are on it. But without further ado, let's get into the 2 for sure reads I have, because one of my book clubs has not really figured out what they want to do yet for the month of June, at least to my knowledge. But if I figure out what it is, I will edit it in here. But we for sure have 2 reads that are going to be involved in this month. And there's a lot of readathons that are going on. So we'll also talk about what's going on with that. The first book is my Witcher read-along book, which is going to be The Tower of Swallows, which is book 4 in the series. We're getting real close to the end. We have this book and then 2 more books before we are done with this series and this read along. This I am kind of nervous for, because I'm still at this point of filming in the middle of Baptism of Fire, and it's getting to be a little bit nerve-wracking in the sense that, like, I just don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to come around the corner, basically. Not that because it's bad. I'm just nervous for my characters, because it's a series where it's very easily one of them or all of them could die, and I'm not about that. So very nervous to see how that goes, but I don't really want to get into what this one is about yet, because I haven't finished Baptism of Fire, and as of this video, we have not done the live show. I had to reschedule it, so it's going to be this coming Saturday, June 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't finished the Baptism of Fire yet and you're wanting to join in on that live show, you have until this coming Saturday for that. So that was partially for me because I hadn't been able to finish the book yet, and also because I just didn't have the time to be able to do the live show like I thought I was going to. I had too much going on. And next, what we are going to be working on in the month of June is for Brandy's book club, which is to read The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. This is the first book in a high fantasy trilogy. I have heard amazing things about this series, have been putting off reading it for a long time because I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it. I do not have this book at all. I am just borrowing the audiobook from my library. So that is going to be my main audiobook, I think, going into the month of June, other than finishing up the ones that I have already carrying over from May, which I'll be getting into that here in just a second. But those are the 2 books I'm going to be reading in the month for sure, and they are going to be counting for some prompts for Battle of the Bookish, as well as other year-long challenge things that I am going to be doing, but the majority of the challenges and prompts for readathons and stuff like that is going to basically be, I'm going to read something and see what it fits, especially if I'm starting it in the month of June, see what it fits and then kind of go from there. So without further ado, then I'll talk about the books that I'm carrying over from May. So I have Sons of Darkness, which I am about halfway through right now, Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I am about 30-ish% of the way through, Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta, which I am nearly done with. I only have about 30 pages of that left, so I should be able to finish it maybe tonight. Baptism of Fire, like I said, I am about halfway through this one and really enjoying it so far. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is a slow buddy read that I'm doing with a friend of mine that we've been kind of just slowly making our way through it. So I wasn't expecting to finish this in May, but I would like to be able to try to finish it in June if I can. And First Lie Wins, which is by Ashley Elston. This is a mystery thriller, and this is for the book club that my mom, my sister, and I are a part of. And we still don't really know what the book club book for June is, because I don't think anyone has finished the May one, to be completely honest. It's very hit or miss whether or not, you know, it gets told what the thing is going to be. I usually end up hearing secondhand from my mom what the book club book is going to be, kind of thing. So I don't know, we'll kind of... Okay, so now let's get into the readathon stuff. So for Battle of the Bookish, The Tower of the Swallow is going to double count for both the TBR veteran and for my team, which is the Fighters team. And this is going to count for the prompt for the Fighters for a weapon on the cover, because most of the books in this series have some kind of sword or arrows or anything, and Geralt here has a big sword in his hand. Then The Bone Shard Daughter is going to count for a book that I'm just going to read, and that's it. Then there are a lot of other prompts that I am going to fit other books in at some point in time. I don't know whether I'm going to finish all of them, but those 3 prompts are for sure the ones I will be able to complete in Battle of the Bookish. That's why I wanted to talk about them a little bit. For Witchathon, it is to read an OTP or Happily Ever After story, and I don't know what I'm going to read for this yet. I'm going to basically see what I can find or what I end up drawing over the course of the month that will fit this. For Aldea though, for a TBR veteran, that's the challenge for this month for me, I will be throwing on the Tower of Swallows for that. I keep messing up this name. But this is going to be for that because it is a TBR veteran. This whole series is like a TBR veteran for me because I've been meaning to read it for a long time, and so I thought that this was a great way to kill two birds with one stone. And then, like I said, for Brandy's membership book club, we have The Bone Shard Daughter, which I'm really excited to start. We are going to be actually reading the entire trilogy over the next few months, so I hope I really like this one because I would really like to be able to read the whole series. And then there is the Litha readathon for Witchathon, which happens from the 21st to the 27th of June. There are 3 prompts that I'm able to partake in, which are fairies, yellow, gold, and a strong mother presence, which this one I am for sure going to leave up to whatever it is I end up reading over the course of the month, because since this is so much later in the month, this will very likely be when I am going through the random TBR draw basically that I'll be doing this project. So it makes more sense for me to hold out on what I'm going to be reading then to what I'm going to be reading, you know, in that time frame. So there will be a wrap up monthly like I normally do, but I'll have, like I said, hopefully a separate vlog of going through these random draws and seeing like my progress. But if you want like individual review style kinds of things, definitely check out my TikTok because that's where I'm going to be posting those ones, and you can see me doing the drawing for each of the books. But that's going to be like more short form kinds of things, and those will be posted to my TikTok and as a YouTube short. So no matter what, you guys will be able to see what's going on, what I'm reading, what I'm getting through, and I'm really excited for this. It's a project that I hope I can continue even if I get into next school year and I start getting back to school, and also teaching, paraproing, whatever it is that I end up doing as I am getting my education to become a special ed teacher. So whatever ends up happening. I'm trying to give myself some more grace with this, and I think this is a really good way for me to give myself more grace. It's not really for me counting how much I can read in a month. It's just being able to read through and enjoy what I'm reading. And if I end up reading a lot in a month, so be it. If I don't read a lot, that's fine, because any little bit is going to count. Every dollar that I put away is going to be $1 closer to pulling me out of debt. So that's really the main goal. And I am trying to keep myself in a book buying ban. However, the exception always is that if I get gifted books, that's obviously not something that I have control of. So I will accept that, and I just have to add them into the library spreadsheet kind of thing as I get them. If they're gifts for like my birthday, which is coming up in July, or for Christmas, or whatever the case may be, because my mom is always doing things for me that she probably shouldn't, but it is what it is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. I know it's a little bit different of a TBR because a lot of it is left up to fate and a lot of it is kind of up in the air, but I hope that you guys are excited to see what's going to be coming out here in the next, you know, several months. I don't really know how long it's going to take for me to get through this entire TBR that I have, but I'm excited nonetheless. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited nonetheless because I think it's going to really push me to be more consistent with posting, but also just have more fun with my reading and really being more particular about the books I'm reading, because if I DNF something, it's because I don't want to read it. I don't like it, whatever it is, but that still counts towards my, you know, debt payoff of some kind. So it's, I really feel like there's no bad thing that can come from this project other than, you know, having a hard time with posting something because I forget, you know, for a day or two. But like, thankfully it's one of those things where like if I do forget to post something, I can keep it in my drafts and I could post it whenever I am able to. So I don't know, like I said, I feel like there's no wrong way to go about this, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be and would like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys.